Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Porte ISD, and thank you for being here. It is now 7:03 p.m. Tuesday, April 8, 2025, and I hereby call this meeting to order. Notice of this meeting was posted in a manner required by law at 5 p.m. April 4th, and the subjects to be discussed and/or considered upon which any formal action may be taken have been listed. The Board of Trustees of LaPorte Independent School District is now convened. Let the record show that we do have a quorum present, as Ms. Hall is away on business. As LaPorte ISD Board of Trustees, every student's success is our number one priority. We are here to set goals, adopt policy, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and communicate the district's vision and success to the community. It is not the role of the board to make the day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the district are the responsibility of the superintendent. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. School board meetings are open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. However, audience participation is limited to the stakeholder presentation portion of the meeting, and board members may not respond to those comments made in the public comment section. These proceedings may be recorded, and I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking. And at this time, will you please stand for the presentation of colors led by the LaPorte High School ROTC. Tonight, the American flag is being handled by Command Sergeant Major Yasmin Solis, Texas flag Private Kaylee Daughtry, Texas Guard Sergeant First Class Everardo Garcia, and American Guard Private First Class Mika Morales. You'll join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Ready. Take. Present. Arms. Order. Arms. Center. Face. Mark time. March. Forward. March.
At this time, will you please bow your head for tonight's invocation given by Trustee Russell Shopping.
Heavenly Father, we come before you with grateful hearts seeking your wisdom, guidance, and grace as we gather for this school board meeting. Bless the work of our hands and the intentions of our hearts. Grant us the clarity to make decisions that uphold the dignity of every student, the courage to advocate for justice and truth, and the compassion to serve our community with love and humility. May the Holy Spirit guide our conversations, and may all that we do be rooted in the values of faith, hope, and charity. Help us to see Christ in every child, parent, and educator we serve. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. You may be seated. We'll now move to item 5, board recognitions. Tonight's recognitions will be presented by Director of Communications, Mr. Adam Hollins. Adam?
Thank you, Mr. Hanks. Good evening, everyone. We're going to start out our recognition portion of this meeting with some entertainment by Jenny Reed's Tiki Club under the direction of Miss Jennifer Arisco. You guys can come on in.
Evening. Hello, I'm Jennifer Arisco, and I'm here with Jenny Reed Roadrunner Tiki Club. We started this club about 3 years ago, I think, and so I have a couple of fifth graders who've been in it for all 3 years, and they are getting better than me. And I can, and I've got some. If you're in second grade, raise your hand. If you're in third grade, raise your hand. If you're in fourth grade, raise your hand. If you're in fifth grade, raise your hand. So we got all all walks here. But I don't know if you realize this at your house, but tomorrow is STAR testing day. Tomorrow. So, but you know what? We are not worried at all. Can you start me with a C? We're not worried. And this is why. One, two, three. Don't worry about a thing. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Sing, don't worry about a thing. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, start with the rising sun. Three little birds perched on my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying, "This is my message to you." Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Can you do this? Oh, good. I knew you could do it. So they're going to help us out. So I need you to put some words to that. The words are, hey now. Can you do that? Hey now. You'll probably know when to do that, but if not, we're going to kind of like be looking for you. We'll help you out, okay? Because after the STAR test, F please, F, we're going to have some fun. 1, 2, 3, here we go. My bestie, dancing by the fire. My bestie says you want party, make me swing so high. Talking about hey now, hey now, hey now. I go on it. Jump on my feet, on my feet. Jump on my feet, on me. Talking about hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now. I go on it. Jump on my feet, on my feet. Jump on my feet, on me. Start my truck, let's all jump in. Here we go together. Don't slow breathing, big on street. Life don't get no better. Talking about hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now. I go on me. Jump on my feet, on my feet. Jump on my feet, on me. Shout out to the good time crew. Cross the island. Grab your shoes, we'll go 2 by 2. Shining bright like diamonds. Talking about hey now, hey now, hey now. I go on it. Jump on my feet, on my feet. Jump on my feet, on me. Jump on my feet, on me. Jump on my feet, on me. So it is time for us to go so we can get some good sleep before the STAR test. Sunny, you can just set it right there. Can I have a C? C. Unless you are handing things out. Go get them. And if you are a school board member, could you raise your hand? Because we have something for you. All right, here we go.
Parents, after the photos, the students are going to exit that way, and we ask that you do the same. It helps us avoid a bottleneck here. This hallway goes around here. Thank you.
Those parents are popping.
You still take me seriously? I'm gonna get the rest of the meeting like this. Okay. These people are I'm gonna the rest of the meeting like this. Come on, right here. Come on, Miss Davis.
Oh, thank you, sir. You look great. Hold on one second.
You're welcome. All right.
Everybody look here. 1, 2, 3.
Big job.
All right.
It does match your outfit.
It does. I mean, I totally work.
Good job, guys. Thank you all for coming.
Mason sent a message.
They do.
Watch the microphone. That way you go.
Actually,
Can we stay here? Do you want us here?
Moving on to the next portion of our recognitions, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Art Show's Hayloft Gallery at NRG Arena featured 7 works of art by LaPorte ISD students in 2025. Students from LaPorte High School, Lomax Junior High School, and Heritage Elementary schools earned Best of Show awards for their respective age categories in the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Art Show. Artists from LaPorte High School, Lomax Junior High School, and Leo A. Rizzuto Elementary were represented in the gold medal category. And our Best of Show honorees are Brianna Limon, LaPorte High School, and I understand she could not be here this evening. I think she's playing softball. Oh, showing a pig. It is auction week. Sophia Rodriguez, Lomax Junior High. Aubrey Rylander, Heritage Elementary School.
Sophia? There's Sophia right there.
Oh, come on up.
Sweetheart, come over here. Come this way. Ooh, look at that trophy.
Wow.
Awesome.
Good job.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Our gold medal winners, and if you're here, please do come up. Nadia Olson, LaPorte High School.
let's stay here for the picture, or it didn't happen.
Nathan Bowie, LaPorte High School. Ethan Hoffman, Lomax Junior High School. And finally, Cale Ebersol, Rizzuto Elementary School. And a little something additional about Cale is if you vote in a few weeks, and certainly you all will, you'll get an I voted sticker. Cale designed that sticker and won the city's contest. Oh, the yearbook cover. He also designed Rizzuto's yearbook cover this year. So art teachers, if you're here, please come up. Christina Tadaro and Emily Reedy are the art teachers for LaPorte High School. Bobby Lapushansky teaches at Lomax Junior High. Jamie Leupold and Mona Gibbs teach art at Heritage and Leo A. Rizzuto, respectively.
Everybody look up here. 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations. For the second straight year and only the third time in school history, LaPorte High School was represented at the Texas High School Women's Powerlifting Association State Championships. Freshman Hannah Stafford and sophomore Samantha Gilder finished 8th and 15th at the March 15th State Championships, respectively. Ladies, come on up. Now, Hannah's finish is the best ever for LaPorte High School powerlifters. They are also the first duo in school history to advance to state. These ladies set a combined 6 personal records in the process, and they are coached by none other than Beck Neal.
Y'all guys looking great, so thank you.
He's gonna pass. You look too good.
You look too good, so I'm gonna let you.
Congratulations. Now I introduce you to Ms. Terry Cook, our Partners in Education Coordinator, who is going to honor one of our business partners.
Thank you, Adam. Tonight we have a very special recognition and a thank you to one of our area industries. Our friends at Lyondell-Basell, Bayport Choate, recently made a donation of a classroom set of TI-84CE calculators to the LaPorte High School Mathematics Department. This donation of 30 calculators is valued at approximately $4,000. According to Plant Manager Amy Caldwell, who's here with us tonight, Lyondell-Basell wants to help ensure that students have the tools they need to be successful in math. Many of the jobs at Lyondell-Basell, from engineers to millwrights to pipe fitters, require strong math skills. To show the company's support of our high school math students, Lyondell-Basell contacted us to make this generous donation. And I'd also like to thank Kelly Mules and Angie Viator for helping us to coordinate the particulars of these calculators. Lyondell-Basell has always been a generous supporter of LaPorte ISD in many ways. In addition to supporting the LaPorte Education Foundation and activities such as the recent robotics competitions, the Lyondell-Basell Bayport Choate site is a very active partner in education at Bayshore Elementary School. So I'd like to ask Amy Caldwell, our plant manager, to come up, please.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, board, in consideration of our guest speakers this evening, we are going to move out of order to item 10 in our bond finance update and discussion. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're gonna go back. I apologize. I said that out of order. We are going to go to public comments. Item 6, the board will now hear those who wish to make comments and who have completed and returned the public comment participation request. This section will be conducted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act and board policy. As such, this is a reminder that board members may not respond to those comments made in the public comment section. Complaints and/or concerns for which other resolution channels are provided shall be directed through those channels. Vice President Martin, do we have any registered speakers?
Mr. President, we have 0 speakers this evening.
Please note for the record, we do not have any registered speakers, so we will now move on to item 10. And here are bond updates. Yes, the bonds, yes.
Okay, good evening, board. Dr. Jackson? So tonight,
Evening.
Doug... Ready?
No.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Tonight, Doug Witt with Samco is our financial advisors, and he is going to present the summary of our plan of finance for our third bond sale. You have this presentation in front of you.
Thank you.
Okay, good evening. It's good to be back. It's good to see everyone. It's tough to follow Bob Marley, I must say. But I'll give it my best shot. So yes, we're here tonight. I definitely can't carry a tune. All right, so we do have a summary of the plan of finance. This is our third installment of bonds that were approved by the voters. We want to give you a summary of that plan as we ask for your approval to issue some of those bonds this summer. So with that, on the first page, this is our Bond Buyers Index of Municipal Bonds. It's a weekly index of a municipal bond interest rate, a national index. Some of you have seen this from me before. To the far right of the graph, you'll see a number 4.34%. That's slightly above our average interest rates that run across the middle at 4.02% in the blue horizontal bar. Now this is a modern history of interest rates. Bottom left corner is January 2001. At the top was 2008, the financial crisis led to the Great Recession as they called it. Down at the bottom in 2020, there was federal government intervention in our markets during the pandemic. We actually refinanced some bonds in 2021 when you had those record low levels, provided an enormous amount of interest cost savings on the principal that you had outstanding. So, a little above averages. I will say this, that if you've been paying attention to financial markets over the past week to 10 days, we're having some gyrations, right? Normally our municipal bond market's pretty quiet, pretty tame market, but we're getting a little bit more volatility in ours. 7 days ago, I was talking about interest rates coming down 30 basis points. Today, I'm talking about them. They came right back up to where we are. It's about 10 basis points. So, all in all, we have a little above average, but we do have some gyrations going on in the market. So, day to day can make a difference. Your recent bond ratings, AAA based upon the permanent school fund guarantee. You have outstanding credit quality ratings on a standalone basis in this district at AA2 by Moody's and AA by S&P Global Ratings. Both of the two largest credit rating agencies have you at very high categories. It goes AAA, which is the permanent school fund. There's one category between you and AAA. It's AA1, AA+. Very, very few districts reach that category. There's, again, you're at a very high percentage of credit quality districts on the way you manage your finances and your debt here in this district. And the analysts cite large and growing tax base, diverse economic and employment base, strong wealth and income levels, and strong reserves. Reserves is the fund balance that you know that we talk about. So here's your historical refunding and redemption results. Just a reminder. So I bring this up in 2024, the second bullet from the bottom, we paid some bonds off early, some prior bonds early. In 2023, we did that as well. And then again, 2021 in the middle, that was the big refinancing at the record low interest rate. So all in all, about $33 million of savings from refunding bonds or paying them off early. I must say, I don't like it, but there is legislation that is being introduced as we speak. It's passed through the Senate. It's an attempt to make you go to the lowest common denominator of your INS tax rate. Rather than keep a steady tax rate, and use any excess for early redemption. I don't understand it. I don't agree with it as someone who manages bond portfolios over a period of time. I would love to see a local school board have the option of setting your tax rate, and if it creates excess, to pay down on bonds early or lower your tax rate, which we've done in this district as well. But it should be, in my opinion, a local long-term debt management versus tax rate. But I know that I'm preaching to a choir, so to speak, in terms of you all feel the same way that I do. All right, to review of bond election parameters, obviously we presented this to the voters in 3 propositions, 164 million, 15 million, and 56 million, with the Proposition B being the technology equipment, Proposition A being your primary proposition, and Proposition C being some of that mandated third proposition, of which we've issued those bonds and y'all have completed those projects. The second bullet point, you break it down by proposition and purpose. We break it down by useful life of the asset. So 220 million was facility improvements, 15 million we call capital improvement or technology equipment. No tax rate increase was required, maintaining 28.19 cents of INS tax rate. Because our bond model was performing very well, your tax base is performing very well, your industry is performing very well, our interest rates have been very good. You were able to lower that temporarily down 3 pennies as you needed some disaster relief penny adjustment, keeping the total tax rate the same. Right now, skipping forward just a little bit, our plan of finance is to add back 1 penny per year over the next 3 years, taking us back to that level. That's subject to your discretion and our overall game plan. So clearly, the last bullet point is important in this district. We have 2 types of bonds, facility bonds and technology bonds. So we may sell it as one bond series, but for me, we make sure that we're amortizing the short-term technology in the first couple of years and the facility bonds over a longer period of time. So just know that we're not doing 2-year technology with 15, 20, and 25-year bonds. Okay, so we're paying those off in the useful life period. Here's a look at your taxable value. I don't know if you can see those numbers, but on your page, clearly in column 2, since 2005, 2006, your tax base has gone from $4.5 billion to right at $15 billion. We've been at 14.2, 14.7, 14.9 in the last 3 years. One of those years included some additional homestead exemptions, so we still survived that, so to speak. You do get some hold harmless on your prior bonds for that. With the elevation of 100 to 140 that is proposed, the way that law is written, that hold harmless for that homestead exemption is currently different than the hold harmless that was associated with the rise from 40,000 to 100,000 in homestead exemption. That's unfortunate. We're asking them to just go cut and paste from last time to this time, and for those of us that have already passed our bonds. In this district, it's a very minor nuisance, if you will. We are an industrial tax-based district. For some of my bedroom-only communities, it's a pretty significant discussion point as part of this. But all in all, the way the bond model is set up now, you were at $14.9 billion last year, or this year that we're in. We're using $14.7 billion, a slight decline. It's very preliminary. You will get preliminary certified values at the end of April. In your last 3 years, sometimes the preliminary value has been spot on. Sometimes it's been a little bit too low. Sometimes it's been a little bit too high. So tonight you're going to be authorizing the issuance of bonds and delegating authority to the administration to complete the sale. We will make a determination when we start getting the preliminary values whether or not we're ready to move. It would be a no-brainer to move pretty quickly because our bond model is sufficient. We have all the wiggle room we need. The one caveat to that is that if we collect more revenues than we have in bond expenditures, which we won't know what those revenues are until after certified values in July, then they want to take away some of your hold harmless. So they're taking away our discretion. In the past, we would move forward, set the 2619, put the bond structure in there, collect a little excess, and then use that excess for early debt retirement. This time, we're going to have to think about the exact timing of what we're worried about the most: market, tax base, hold harmless, etc. But those are deep, deep discussions and decisions that will be made as we move forward in the summer. Okay, so I think that's the taxable value, tax rate, and fund balance history. You know your tax rate history in column 2, column 3. That's maintenance and operating and interest and sinking fund. Obviously, the interest and sinking fund, or INS tax rate, is dedicated solely to voted bonds, which is the purpose of why I'm here tonight. Again, we were at 28.19 for a couple of years at the bottom of column 3, now at 25.19. Our intentions right now are to be at 26.19 next time, but knowing that we don't have as much ability to just pick a number without having some implications that we've been in the past. In the past, we could take 28.19, move it to 25.19, and we knew exactly what to do with it. This time, the tax rate will be something that we're targeting, but we'll see if we can set it. In column 5, it's important to note, you can see there that at your discretion of managing your bonds and your maintenance and operating, you went from $2 million of INS fund balance to 4 to 6 to 10, and then we purposely drew that down, back down to 5 million. 5 million is about 12.5% of your annual budget, which is a good number. And again, everybody in Austin should be very proud of this district by putting yourselves in a position to do that and pay those bonds early and save interest costs on this. For the life of me, I don't know why they don't want us to repeat that over and over again. I'm sure they're very proud of us. I am. And your taxpayers should be, because you're doing the right thing on a long-term analysis of your debt position rather than what's the shortest term gratification that we can get. And you can see there your total tax rate has come down from $1.45 to $1.42 to $1.38 to $1.28. Today it's at $97.39. Your tax rate has been declining at the same time that you've been paying off bonds early. So the taxpayer is getting a win-win. Less interest carry cost, lower tax rate. Again, it's a good story. It's one that I like. I wish I could continue indefinitely, but they meet every 2 years and we react accordingly. All right, here's our outstanding profile. Again, it's a little higher in 24-25 on purpose. That's the drawdown by having a larger amount of principal and blue paid off in that year. We have a placeholder there, a drop in debt service to 26-27, another drop in 28-29, another drop in 34, 20-35. All of that is what you would know as capacity to add in the additional bonds that have been authorized by the voters to continue your projects. Speaking of authorized but unissued bonds, we have 69 million left in Proposition A, we have 12 million in Proposition B, and we have utilized the Proposition C bonds for those projects. Now, of the 69 million, our game plan, which you'll see on the next slide, is to issue 39.5 million of that. That will keep you on schedule with the projects that you have in your facility plan. Of the Proposition B, our intention is to issue 3 million of that, and that's been our intent all along. This is kind of that short term, what we call rolling replacement bonds. You issue it, you take on the technology. As the technology expires, you redo it again, and the bond model has that built in with no future tax impact from rolling that over time. So the summary of the plan of finance, again, 39.350, I think is our number. 39.35 of Proposition A, 3 million of Proposition B. The order that you have, by the way, Diana Martinez with Andrews Kurth is with us tonight, Hunt and Andrews Kurth now. She's with Tom Sage's group, who you've seen before. They are your bond attorney and the legal liaison for the district. They prepare the legal documents of which the order you're going to adopt. The order has up to 69 million because that is the amount that we have authorized, but our intent is to issue 39.350. The reason we put in up to 69 million is if in 2 months we have some sort of change that we need to make and we needed to take it, for example, to 40 million, we would have that authority to do that. So again, the method of sale negotiated 20-year amortization, 10-year option to prepay, permanent school fund guarantee. We're using a conservative interest rate, we believe, at 4.75% for the preliminary numbers. Your taxable value again was 14.9 billion in 24-25. Through all of the mechanics that we do, we're using right now about 14 billion 7. We'll know where we're falling in April, and then we'll decide, do we need to wait to July for the certified value, or can we just proceed off the preliminary value? Again, we would normally proceed off the preliminary value because we have the wiggle room, but I'm a little worried about the tax rate versus the hold harmless. I think I have an answer to it, but I'm going to need the TEA to agree that they're interpreting the law the way I'm interpreting the law.
So Doug, is the assumption made, are you taking some of that into consideration? Are you anticipating the legislation to affect that number?
Yes.
Okay.
If so, for example, if I go and I set 2619, and then I structure on this page where you see I'm structuring in the yellow payments.
Yes, sir.
If I structure it in to where we have some surplus that we would normally use for that fund balance build up over time to then deploy for early principal
Payoff.
payment.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I collect a little bit, as it reads today in layman's terms, if we collect more than we have in scheduled payments, then their theory is that you don't need our hold harmless. Well, that's not accurate. We need your hold harmless to continue our bond model over time. We're just not perfecting it in any given year.
Okay.
So, again, that's how it's set up.
Right.
And so the yellow bars are preliminary numbers structured to target 2619 at a preliminary value. And again, we'll see if we're going to go ahead and proceed before the certified value or not. It's going to be an ongoing theme of every time you set your INS budget, where do we set it each and every year? This year we have targeted new bonds that we can target into that budget. You also have some bonds that can be prepaid like you've done in the past. What I would like to do is go ahead and sell the bonds here in June before the mad rush from May elections. And those districts who have to wait on their certified value in July, if I sell in the spring or summer, early summer, June, we avoid that logjam, okay? But in today's world with the legislation, the benefit is we avoid the logjam. The bad news is we're kind of pricing and structuring blind into the law and the interpretation of the law. So that's our challenge today. So what we lay out here on this graph, as you can see, basically our budget's going to be very similar this year that it was last year, within that penny that I've talked about. The light blue is the remaining authorized but unissued that we would layer into that space. And then the red, the pink, and the light red, I guess you would say, those two and two are those technology bonds where we're amortizing over 2 years that we're layering in every other year. This is our year to layer in 3 million of that because it's 2 years ago that we issued the first amount of that. And then you're going to have a big drop off in 34 and a big drop off in 40. The future is bright in this district for you to address what you need to over time. You can accelerate some of that blue, yellow, and light blue out long. You can lower your tax rate. You can address additional facility needs that you have on an ongoing basis. We're 10 years out to that, but your future is bright to be able to do what you need to do in this district going forward. Preliminary schedule of events. Again, we're here on April 8th looking for an adoption of the order authorizing the issuance of the bonds, establishing the parameters of those bonds, and delegating authority to the administration. Right now, the schedule is planned to sell the bonds in early June. We'll be in contact with the administration to say, do we want to proceed with that schedule, or do we want to back off and buy a little time given the uncertainty of legislation? But if we issue the bonds in June, the bond issue will close in July. And that's when the money will come into your construction fund and you will continue on with the projects that you have. So with that, I'll stop and see if there are any questions about any component to the plan of finance and what we have before you this evening.
Board?
You've done a-
Yeah, no.
Doug, you've done a good job of explaining all of this. And you've almost projected already kind of your thoughts about the future. Interest rates and all of that, you believe is going to continue to increase, or you feel like
So-
you need to take advantage of it as soon as
What's
possible?
been weird, and you can see it, most people see it in the equities market, and we do not, as a municipal bond, we're usually detached from what's going on, not in the overall macroeconomic conditions, but we're not really connected to the equities market. But here more recently, you've seen the equities market go down, where the Dow Jones Industrial Average loses money. That's people selling out of stocks, and they're taking that money and pushing it over to bonds. The normal location for those bonds are federal treasuries. But the federal treasury market is also a little bit uncertain because it's an international market, whereas our municipal bonds are a national market. So we don't have any of this trade stuff of tit for tat or any of that that really should affect our market because that's a federal treasury issue, not our issue. But generally speaking, interest rates kind of try to move together. So now we're getting tied into this a little bit. So what we've seen in the past 7 to 10 days is when the equity market drops, people put their money into bonds, buying bonds. So there's an inverse relationship between the price of the bond and interest rates. So when they buy our bonds, prices go up, interest rates go down. So we saw 30 basis point moves, which normally 30 basis points is 3 months worth of moves. We've seen that in day trading. So when it turns back, like today in the equities market, it started up 2%, it ended up down 1% or some such. Our market is starting to gyrate with that, which is highly unusual. So to make a long story short, we have some navigating to do, which we normally don't, through the interest rate market. And if anyone wants to raise their hand and predict the future of financial markets, I'm all ears. I've been doing this for over 30 years, and it's virtually impossible to predict the unpredictable. And that's the market that we're in. We won't try to perfectly time the market, but we'll try to make some wise decisions within the context of that atmosphere.
So you kind of did this, but if I heard it correctly, you said that if, after you vote on this order, it still could, the legislation could effectively, essentially cause you to pause or postpone moving on this? Are the market rates similar if something were to happen drastically one way or the other?
Well, see, that's the trade-off. That's the decision. When you're in finance, you have to make business decisions that can be both right and wrong, and there's competing reasons to make that decision. The reason to move forward is to remove market risk, to avoid the logjam of other schools bringing their bonds to market this summer. If we do that, and we set 2619 and it collects a little bit excess, which I'm going to need it to do. I don't want to be on the other end of that. If the 2619 doesn't collect enough and we're drawing down that 5 million further, if I draw it down $1 million, not a problem. If I draw it down 2 million, not a problem. But if I draw 5 million down to 500,000, we don't have any wiggle room into the future. So I want to be kind of conservative on that 5 million, not to use it all. Well, if I structure it that way and the legislation does pass as it is today, then it's possible that we might collect, say, 500,000 of additional INS tax revenues, and we would normally put that in the bank. But what they will do is out of our $2 million of hold harmless, they may take 500,000 away and only give us $1.5 million. So I don't want you to lose your hold harmless, but my trade-off is that loss versus 3 more months of interest rate gyrations and more crowded market. So there's no perfect answer to this. It's something that we need to go through. I do, as I mentioned before, I have a hold card. The hold card is that if the smoke clears and I'm gonna have $500,000 of excess, and they want us to balance the budget rather than put it in the bank, I can accelerate 500,000 of your other principal and make a balanced budget. But what I need the TEA to do is tell me that they will give us credit for that and continue to pay us the hold harmless that they owe us. So that's kind of the world that we're working in there.
So essentially with pending legislation, you're looking, there's really no vehicles to add to the balance, right? Like to our bank. I mean, how would we ever be able to add more to that 5 million?
Not only that, but think if you're starting out and this is your first and only bond, if you're a rural West Texas district and you have 0 INS fund balance, you're going to tell me that you want us to perfect that?
Yeah.
You can't. You need to collect excess to have some ongoing fund balance. So, yeah, what they're saying is, okay, I may be taking up too much of my time.
No.
Let's go back to 2023. In 2023, they tried to strictly prohibit a district from maintaining a level tax rate and using excess for early principal retirement. It passed in the Senate, failed in the House. So when it came back this time, it was not that. It was, okay, do what you want to, but, and again, I'm using not legal language, you might, I'm using layman terms. It's do what you want to, but if you collect excess, then that means you don't need our state aid hold harmless that you owe us because you changed the rules. So that's the way it's written this time. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, there's a lot of people who've been doing what you've been doing, and we'll see how it plays out. The other caution that I give you is, again, the preliminary value is April, the certified value is July. Sometimes your preliminary value is spot on, sometimes it's not. So if I price and structure into the preliminary value, I cannot perfect your revenues to your expenditures. Okay, we're going to have to accept some uncertainty with tax base, some uncertainty with legislation. In this district, I don't mind that uncertainty because this is not a one and done year. This is an ongoing marathon and process. But those are some of the things that we're thinking about as we look at the timing of the issue going forward and through this summer.
Sure.
Sorry, do you want to ask one question? And this is actually to everyone on my team here too. When you mentioned the way we wrote the bond. You said the way that it's written and how it's redeemed and things like that, excess. When we presented the bond to the community, did it explain in full, because I can't remember, our kids messed up since then. Did it explain in full our plan of how we pay it off, or how we not pay it off, but how we utilize it?
I think we
So it's very detailed, so everything that he's telling us is exactly how it's detailed, how we communicate
Of what we would use it for,
Right.
Okay,
absolutely.
that's what I
And you still
thought.
have your misconceptions where people think that as soon as we passed the $232 million bond, that we got $232 million.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's
We
not
sell
the
them
case.
at certain times.
Right.
So ultimately, they're basically, we're not grandfathered into anything, and what we presented to be how we're going to manage this whole thing can change at their whim.
Both.
There being the legislature.
That's the legislation, yes.
Yeah, so
how we're gonna manage the financial end of it. But we are bound by law, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, to the wording of the proposition that the money would be spent on what
We're
the
going to
wording
spend
of
it
the
on
proposition.
exactly what we asked
Right.
for.
Right.
Just how you pay
Exactly.
it back.
But just the payoff, that means how we're paying it off and everything, we presented to them, so the TDA could say, no, sorry, you don't get to use it that way. If we
Yeah.
have the excess because of the whole harm, if they want to apply for
yeah,
that.
everything you talked about in terms of your facilities, you are on track. Everything that you talked about on the plan of finance to finance those facility improvements, you're on track even better. Your bond model's outperforming what we would assume pre-election. So for the community listening, we are better than target with respect to this finance plan that we're talking about today.
We've done everything within our power to manage that the way, so anything
Yeah.
that changes outside of what we said we were going to do,
Um,
that's not us. So, right?
No, legally and community communications wise, you are spot on both aspects, the facility plan and the plan of finance for those facilities. again, you're better off than, in the finance plan, you actually have had some flexibility to help do other things in this district because you are ahead of schedule.
And this district has a 30-year history of nominal finance.
Exactly. And it's reflected by, I'm an advocate for you, obviously. I represent you. I have a fiduciary responsibility to this district. But an independent credit rating agency is looking at this district and they're saying, this is spot on district, right? You have a very high elevated credit quality and credit rating. Did I answer the prior question? Yeah, okay.
Board, we good? Mr. Witt, thank you as always. We
Yes,
appreciate you.
Thank you.
The board, consider the adoption of an order authorizing the issuance of LaPorte Independent School District Unlimited Tax School Building Bond Series 2025, levying a tax and providing for the security and payment thereof, authorizing a pricing officer to approve the award of sale thereof in accordance with the specified parameters, and enacting other provisions related thereto.
If you have any questions on all of that, our expert is here.
Did I say it right?
Yes, that's right.
Awesome. So I seek a motion.
I move that the Board of Trustees adopt the order authorizing the issuance of the LaPorte Independent School District Unlimited Tax School Building Bond Series 2025 as presented before the trustees this evening.
I seek a second.
Second.
Seconded. All right. Board, any other discussions? I call for the vote. Please note that it is unanimous. Thank you, board. That was easy, huh?
Yes,
Good.
thank you.
Mr. Wood? Yeah.
Thank you
Thank you,
for
sir.
your patience.
All right, board, we are going to move back to, where are we at? Yes, we're going to go back to item 7. Thank you, Mason. Dr. Jackson, would you like to start with your superintendent's report? Sorry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, Board, Mr. President. You have a copy of my superintendent's report. I will not read that, but you have a copy. I would rather go and share my legislative update as the 89th legislative session is still underway. It's quickly beginning to take shape as all of the bills have been filed and committee meetings are wrapping up, and soon the House and Senate will be taking historic votes to determine the outlook of our state for the next biennium. There are thousands of bills, and these are just a few that I'd like to bring to your attention that could and might impact LaPorte ISD and students and staff. House Bill 2243 would establish a commission to study and deliver a report by December 31st, 2026 to the governor and legislature that recommends statutory changes to improve teacher job satisfaction and retention. House Bill 3546 would allow a school board to change its general election date to the November uniform election date. House Bill 1998 would increase the threshold for competitive procurement from $50,000 to $100,000. House Bill 2 would raise the basic allotment from $6,160, which is our current, to $6,555. That's a $395 increase, as well as adjust many of our student population allotments from the TEA and add a fine arts allotment. This bill also focuses on increasing the special education allotment, and it creates a regional disaster insurance allotment given to specified districts along the coast. Do y'all know any districts along the coast that might benefit from that? I think LaPorte would, right? And then Senate Bill 1636 would prohibit a school district from using interest and sinking tax revenue to pay for deferred maintenance. And so, Mr. President, that would be my conclusion of our legislative update for this evening, and we hope to see some things work in our favor in the next few months.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson. Board, do you have any questions for Dr. Jackson? Okay. We're going to move on to B, our bond safety and security update. Welcome, welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening. Oh, welcome officially.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yesterday, your first official?
It was. Yesterday was the first official
And
day.
you showed up the second. That's good.
Right. So thank you all, trustees, Dr. Jackson, opportunity to speak in front of you all today. So before I get started, I just want to officially just thank you all for the opportunity to serve in LaPorte. You know, it's been a transition, a whirlwind, right? I feel like this is not the second day because I've been putting in a lot of time getting to know some folks. So just thank you all for welcoming the department, the staff. Everyone has been fantastic. You guys have an excellent thing going on here, and I'm excited to be a part of it. So just officially, I just want to thank you all. And thank you to my previous district. They're very, you know, gracious in allowing me time to be here, to get to know the folks, to get to know my department, you know, and so it's been very appreciated on both sides. So thank you all so much. You know, and again, just as I kind of give you a few updates, you know, I've just been amazed coming into this role, just the attention to detail, the commitment to excellence. You guys have a lot to be proud of in this district. We have a lot to be proud of now that I'm here. But just to go through some older photos and some renderings and just see kind of where we've come and where we're going, it really is exciting. And so the picture that I'm looking at of the nearly completed stadium and legacy complex, you know, it's just it's a very it's special, right? It's a special part of the community. It's a point of pride, but it's also a great looking facility. I mean, you just look at it, you know, several of you guys have been on some of those walks here recently, and it's just fantastic. It really is overwhelming to just kind of to feel that scope and just soak it all in, but it's just fantastic. So again, I just want to thank you all for the opportunity to be a part of this project. So as we look ahead, right, we've gotten through a lot of the exciting things, right? You know, you see the complex form and the stadium and you know, so some of the things that we're looking ahead to maybe aren't as exciting, but you know, I went in actually yesterday just to look at some of the installation of the doors and hardware, just to put eyes on some of the flooring. And so in the next few days, we'll start seeing some of that sound system testing for connectivity. You've got to wait for things are in place before you can see how some of those things work. And so, you know, that's what we have happening here. I know the last tour that we went on with some of you guys, we didn't have the flooring in the second floor of the Legacy Complex. It's there now. So that was just from yesterday. We've got some of that epoxy, that textured coating going into some of our wet areas in the locker room. It's really exciting when you look at the weight room floors, you start seeing that come to life with the logos. And then of course, right there in the bottom is that pedestal where we're going to have Tuffy. And I know that's exciting for everyone as well. So there's a lot happening, you know, wrapping up. You know, you see that punch list item. We've got, I was talking with Blake yesterday, I think we have over 600 pages of items that we got to comb through to make sure that they're taken care of. But again, that's that attention to detail, and we're going to make sure those things are taken care of before we get that full release. But we're excited about that. So. And then, you know, something else, inspections, right? You know, no one really gets excited about those inspections other than once they're done and they're good, we're good to go, right? And so, you know, we've got a few things happening, should be happening by the end of the week or in the very near future to make sure all those systems are operating properly. So that's on the horizon there for the stadium and the Legacy Complex. And then we're going to move right into the renovation LaPorte High School, and then we've got the competition gym, Lomax Junior High. You know, there's a lot of work been happening on that already. We should have for the junior high the slab poured here in the next few days. I was just talking with Blake here, and the rain kind of put us off schedule a little bit, but I think we're at a point where we should start seeing some movement here in the next few days on that. And soon after that, you'll start to see the structure take place. The steel will go up. It's already been set and curing. And so we'll have an opportunity to really see that space come to life, which is going to be exciting, I know, not just for the staff, but for the community in that area. And then Dr. Jackson and I know Adam went, we had an opportunity to speak to the staff. Dr. Jackson did a great job presenting and just letting the staff know it was well received about what lies ahead for them. You know, there's going to be some movement, a lot of work happening for that high school renovation. And so to have an opportunity to present to staff, let them know what's coming, let them see some of those renderings, let them ask questions, was really well received again by the staff, but I think again it's just a great opportunity, and I was very pleased with Dr. Jackson for introducing me, because they're going to get to see me a lot over the next few months, especially as we begin that work in May. So we've got some meetings actually tomorrow to start planning for those. A lot of data systems, conversations, and technology, and so that'll be tomorrow for the high school, and then just continuing those conversations with Lomax Junior High. So just some additional updates on the security side. So one of the questions I had was where we were with the intruder detection audits, and so we're near completion of those. We've had, I think we have 2 remaining campuses left. The last 2 campuses that were visited were Rizzuto and DeWalt. The good news, there were 0 findings and 0 corrective actions there. So that's obviously a great thing. And again, we've just got those 2 remaining campuses. We'll make sure those are smooth in regards to our safety and security. And then just a couple of milestone dates, right? I think that's exciting. Everyone's looking ahead. Spring football game is going to be a great opportunity to just have everyone in Bulldog Stadium. That will probably be the first time. And some of the last time for some of these seniors, but to give them an opportunity to be in that space as we hope to have some of our fine arts programs actually being able to do some type of performance or something. So the spring football game is going to look different than it's looked in years past, because it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a celebration, and so
It's going to be a sellout crowd.
yeah. But it really is a great opportunity to give some of those students who are graduating that opportunity to experience their programs in that space. So that is a neat thing. Legacy Walk, May 22nd. So we're also excited about that. And then of course we've got our 2 graduations. DeWalt's going to be in the Bulldog Center, and then we have lots of planning and prep work, getting ready for graduation on the 30th in Bulldog Stadium. All right, and that's what I have for you guys. And again, thank you all so much. Any questions?
Any questions? That's going to be your easiest one.
Yeah.
Easiest presentation.
You're going to give them a pass tonight, right?
Yeah. Oh, good job, and we
All right.
appreciate you,
Thank
and
you.
look forward to working with you.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right, board, we are going to skip 8 and go to item 9, our consent agenda. All right, the board will now proceed to our consent agenda. Unless removed from the consent agenda, items identified within this consent agenda will be acted on at one time. A, determine and approve any consent agenda items. B, approve board meeting minutes, regular board meeting minutes, March 11th, 2025. C, receive principals report. 1, Early Childhood Center. 2, Bayshore Elementary. 3, College Park Elementary. 4, Heritage Elementary. 5, Jenny Reed Elementary. 6, LaPorte Elementary. 7, Rizzuto Elementary. 8, Lomax Elementary. 9, Baker 6th grade campus. 10, LaPorte Junior High. 11, Lomax Junior High. 12, LaPorte High School. 13, DeWalt High School. D, receive financial report for February 2025. E, receive human resources report. F, approve budget amendment. G, approve employment of professional staff. H, approve purchase of installation of True Grid system at Bulldog Stadium. I, approve purchase of painting services at DeWalt High School. J, approve second reading and adoption of TASB Local Policy Update 124 affecting local policies CAA, CDA, CY, DH, EHB, EHBB, FFG, and GKA. This one. Approve term probationary non-certified contract recommendations for certified teachers, administrators, and professionals in pay grades 1 through 5. Thank you. L, authorize superintendent to approve hiring of contract professionals of director level or below on district's pay scale from April 9th, 2025 to August 29th, 2025. Vice President Martin, will you please read back our consent agenda?
President, on the consent items approved, we have items A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and L.
All right. I seek a motion to approve our consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Mason. Call for the vote. It is unanimous. Thank you, board. We'll now go back to item K. Mr. Martin.
I'm just being proactive.
I believe we have an amended list of names, is that correct this evening? So my motion is that we make a motion to adopt the amended list of names.
The amended, okay. Got a motion on the floor. Seek a second. Call for the vote. It is unanimous. Thank you, board. All right, so we will now move back to item 8, the board officers report. Under United,
Right here. Let me do it now.
okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, Mr. President and Board Trustees, thank you for your consent item acceptance and approval. At this time, I'd like to introduce to the board and the community some administrators that we had the privilege to interview and vet and hire. Mr. Joseph Chandler, would you stand, Mr. Chandler? Let's give him a hand. Mr. Joseph Chandler will be the principal at the Academy of Viola DeWalt High School here in LaPorte ISD. Joseph Chandler brings to LaPorte 28 years of experience in education. Throughout his career, he has served as a high school special education teacher, department chair, assistant principal, associate principal, and principal in an urban, suburban, and rural school districts in Texas. Mr. Chandler earned his bachelor's degree from St. Minred College in Indiana and a master's degree from the University of Houston main campus. He is also a proud alumnus of Raise Your Hand Texas Principal Program and the Rice University Executive Leadership Partners Program, which is REAP of 2019. During his tenure as principal at Macario Garcia Middle School in Fort Bend ISD, the campus was recognized by the Houston Chronicle for significant academic gains among subpopulations. As principal of Willow Ridge High School, he successfully led the campus out of school improvement required status within 2 years. He's been busy. Under his leadership, Willow Ridge earned academic distinctions and increased its graduation rate. While serving as the principal at Brenham High School, Mr. Chandler was honored with the Region 6 Innovative Principal Leadership Award in 2019. In short, Mr. Chandler has been a successful leader in every role he's held. When asked why LaPorte, he says he recognizes the outstanding traditions and successes that are happening, and he'd like to become a member of a small town with a great culture, similar to where he grew up. Outside of work, Mr. Chandler enjoys traveling with his family, reading and watching movies with his wife of 26 years, Cottam Chandler. His son, Mauricio, is graduating from the University of California at Berkeley this May, and his daughter, Camilla, will be a high school senior next year. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Joseph Chandler. Mr. Chandler, would you have any visitors, or would you like to say anything to the board and the community?
Well, first off, my appreciation. I'm going to give you guys just a piece of gratitude. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm very excited to come to a A+ district, and I'm looking to make great contributions to the district. Tonight, unfortunately, my wife and daughter have a school event they're attending, and my son should be in class right now.
Good luck.
But I promise you this, down the road, they're very involved. You'll have the opportunity, and they'll get the opportunity to meet you guys. But again, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Welcome, Joe. Mr. President, I'm equally proud and honored to introduce to our board and to our community Miss Candace Thibodeau. Let's give her a hand as she stands. Miss Candace Thibodeau will be the associate principal at LaPorte High School, where every day is a great day to be a Bulldog. Ms. Thibodeau comes to LaPorte High School from Clear Falls High School and Clear Creek ISD, where she has served as an assistant principal since 2019. With 31 years in education as an English teacher, department chair, administrative intern, and assistant principal, she will be a strong addition to the LaPorte High School leadership team. Ms. Thibodeau holds a bachelor's degree in political science from Mr. Martin, Texas A&M University, and a master's degree in educational. I didn't hear anybody say whoop. Okay, come on, y'all. Come on. From Texas A&M and a master's degree in educational leadership from Lamar University. Her passion is building strong relationships and ensuring success for all students by establishing strong systems that support instruction and understanding the value of recognizing student and staff growth accomplishments. Ms. Thibodeau looks forward to joining the team and is excited to become a Bulldog. Please join me again in welcoming her. Ms. Thibodeau, do you have any guests or anybody you'd like to introduce or any words?
First, I'm just so honored at this appointment. Thank you to the board, Dr. Jackson, Dr. Griffin, LaPorte. I am so excited and honored to be a part of a district that has such a culture steeped in tradition and dedication to its students. My husband, Mike, and our children, who are not here tonight because they should be studying as well in college, are really excited to become Bulldogs, and I just can't wait, and thank you so much. Awesome.
Congratulations. Board, I'd also like to introduce to you another rock star candidate. We've hired a lot of rock stars here in the last few days. Miss Brooke Watson. Please welcome Miss Brooke Watson. Ms. Watson will be the assistant principal at LaPorte High School. Ms. Watson also comes to us from Clear Creek ISD, where she currently serves as a math teacher and department chair at Clear Creek High School. She also serves on the campus leadership team and is also the PALS sponsor. In her 18 years of educational service, Ms. Watson has also been a math instructional coach and special education teacher in Dickinson ISD, as well as an ESL teacher in Ethiopia through an innovative mission opportunity. She holds a bachelor's degree in human development and family studies from Texas Tech University and a master's degree in educational administration from Lamar University. She is looking forward to the pride and spirit that embodies LaPorte High School and joining the LaPorte family. Please join me again in welcoming Brooke Watson.
First off, thank you so much for this opportunity. Everybody has been just beyond welcoming and kind and gone above and beyond to make me feel comfortable and welcome here, so I appreciate that so much. And my son is at AAU basketball practice tonight. This is my daughter, Savannah.
Hi, Savannah.
Hi, Savannah.
Yeah, but again, just thank you so much for the opportunity.
Boy, great, thank you. Another rock star, board. Please join me in welcoming and congratulating Miss Casey Dixon. Let's give it up for Casey Dixon will be the assistant principal at James H. Baker 6th grade campus. Miss Dixon, yes, give it up for her. Miss Dixon, a LaPorte alumni with 18 years in education, is honored to be selected as the next assistant principal at Baker. She currently serves as the math interventionist at Bayshore Elementary and has also been a teacher at the campus since 2017. Prior to returning to LaPorte, she was an elementary teacher in Deer Park. We won't hold that against her. She holds a Bachelor of Arts degree from East Texas Baptist University and a master's degree in educational administration from Lamar University. As a member of LaPorte ISD's Aspiring Leadership Academy, Ms. Dixon understands the value of growth and development, and she is grateful for the phenomenal leaders who have poured into her life. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
To all the principals I've worked with over the years. It's really great to be a part of the leadership team here in LaPorte. Y'all grew me. I can't wait to give back to the community. My mom is here. This is Becky Parker, my husband, and my two children were here, but they have a STAR test tomorrow. And routines are very important in our house, so they had to make a plan.
Yes, understood. Welcome. Thank you, Mr. President.
Well, to all of you, welcome. And if there's anything the board can ever do for you, don't hesitate. Welcome to the family. All right, board, now we will go to item 8. Under State Board of Education rule, completing the required board member continuing education in the 8 training areas outlined by the SPOE for each year of service is a basic obligation and expectation of a sitting board member. As board president, I am required to announce the name of each who has completed the required continuing education, has exceeded the required continuing education, and is deficient in meeting the required continuing education. The requirements for training are measured as the first anniversary of the date of trustee's election or appointment, or a 2-year anniversary of his or her previous training as applicable. All members still have time remaining to complete any required training by their respective election anniversary date. To the extent applicable to each board member, I will announce the completion or deficiency as required training, as well as those board members who have scheduled training to be completed on time. The following trustees completed topic 1, the legislative portion: Danny Hanks, Jeff Martin, Mason Perez, Russell Shoppy, Melissa Crutcher, Deanne Thompson, and Karen Wheeler Hall. The following trustees completed topic 1, SBOE: Jeff Martin, Russell Shoppy, Melissa Crutcher, Karen Wheeler Hall. The following trustees are registered for Topic 1 SBOE training scheduled for April 29, 2025 to be completed before the deadline: Danny Hanks, Mason Paris, and Deanne Thompson. The following trustees are registered for a Topic 2 team building training scheduled for April 29, 2025 to be completed before that deadline: Danny Hanks, Jeff Martin, Mason Paris, Russell Shoppy, Melissa Crutcher, Deanne Thompson, Karen Wheeler Hall. The following trustees have met their development continuing education hours required under Topic 3: Danny Hanks, Jeff Martin, Mason Perez, Deanne Thompson, Karen Wheeler Hall. The following trustees are registered for their board development continuing education requirement under Topic 3 and are scheduled to be completed before the deadline: Russell Shoppy and Melissa Crutcher. All right. I got all that. Did you get all that?
Great job.
All right. Thank you. All right. So we have been all over the place today. We've done that, and we've done this. So, yeah, I apologize. Yes.
That's okay.
So C. So we're going to go back to item C. Item C under item 7, the CTE update.
Last
ma'am.
but not least, no,
Sorry.
we're good. We're going to make this a very quick update. I feel that. I think that's great. We should do that more often. No, just so. Thank you, everybody, for allowing us to give a quick presentation. Unfortunately, Dr. Baker was scheduled to be with us tonight, our CTE coordinator. Unfortunately, she had a family emergency, so she's not here. So you get second prize, which is Dr. Griffin and myself. So we want to give you just a quick update of the great things that are happening in CTE. Just a quick reminder about what we are doing in CTE and what our mission vision are. We are here in CTE to make sure that we prepare passionate, highly skilled, empowered, and future-ready students. Our mission is to provide that in an engaging real-world scenario with challenging learning experiences in a safe and caring environment. As you know, the goal of the CTE programs are to ensure that our students are getting challenging academic learning that are aligned to their future pursuits in education and careers. Most importantly, CTE programs are supposed to be and should be aligned to high-wage, in-demand, and high-skill occupations that are about our community and our region. Our teachers are teaching students those life skills to help them with those future endeavors, and in CTE we are creating those career-ready students. Just a little nutshell about how CTE is designed. In our nation, we have a CTE national program. It talks about our nationally recognized CTE clusters. There are 14 of them. And this graphic illustrates those 14 CTE national clusters. Within those national clusters, we have local programs of study. And in those programs of study in LaPorte, or in all the states, on all the districts in Texas, those programs of study will then funnel down to course sequences that culminate in practicum experiences in their senior year, and then ultimately industry-based certifications that they can earn. So it looks like this. You have a clear cluster that is an architecture and construction career cluster. It's not something that we offer here, but just as an example. From that cluster, you would have a program of study. There are several of them here to choose from. One of them could be HVAC. And through that program of study, you would have a sequence of aligned courses, so that level 1, 2, 3, and 4 coursework. All of those culminate then into a culminating IBC, either an OSHA 30-hour construction cert or an HVAC level 1 cert that would then let students earn be employed using that certification at the end. So that's kind of how that all works. In Porte ISD, we're also very careful about the programs that we offer. Not all IBCs are created equally. So when you think about some of the popular IBCs that are out there, Google Analytics, for example, in 2023, Microsoft Office Specialist Word, we had 7,000 students in the state of Texas taking the Google Analytics IBC. 6,300 of them took the Microsoft Office Specialist Word IBC. But when you think about the alignment then to that IBC, that certification, and then jobs, those are high, a lot of students taking those IBCs, but not a lot of culminating jobs then in the job market. So we're really looking at how can we make sure that we're offering IBCs that culminate into great career opportunities for our students. So if you think about some of the other programs, like welding, for example, we had students who, I'm trying to think where it is here, I don't have my right glasses on, 3,100 welding certifications that were granted in the state of Texas, and there were 6,500 job openings in 2023. So really trying to ensure that we have high wage, high need certifications that our students are leaving with, knowing that not all IBCs are created equally. Critical needs in Region 4, these numbers after those titles are just connecting to those program codes. But you'll see that in Region 4, some of the critical needs, the career prep that we're looking at are nursing, transportation, construction trades, education, welding, and advanced manufacturing. We offer programs of study in almost all of those. The only one that we do not offer at this time is through the construction trades fully. So that's something that we're looking at, because all of these are critical needs for career and employment in our region.
What are some of the examples of the pathways for transportation?
So in transportation, the primary one that we have is maritime. So when you think about that transportation career cluster, then the maritime program that we have in partnership with San Jacinto College is a primary example of that. Another example would be our automotive tech and our automotive collision repair are also in that transportation cluster.
Okay.
Yep. So when we think about career readiness and CTE, we're thinking about that CCMR, and so remember that is part of how we get our accountability, is how we're preparing our students and if they are career ready. Knowing that we have had a continuum of what that looks like in the state of Texas, it continues to increase. TEA likes to change the rules, and so what we have now, our kids need to be both completers, which means that they have to have 3 courses or 4 credits and 4 credits. In a career clustered sequence of courses, an appropriate sequence, and a culminating IBC that they have passed in order to earn that career readiness designation for that CCMR distinction. And so those are things that we're looking at with our students, ensuring that they are getting some early understandings of the career opportunities that we have for students so that they can start those sequences early and stay within those sequential courses as they go through high school. Certainly kids can hop around and explore, but we would love for those students to be able to have that culminating experience that a sequence of courses will allow. So in Porte ISD, just briefly, we offer 10 out of the 14 recognized career clusters. We offer 15 total programs of study, which is outstanding. Most districts our size offer between 5 and 7 programs of study, so we have a robust offering for our students here in Porte ISD. 82% of our students approximately are enrolled in CTE courses. We currently offer about 18 different IBC opportunities for our students, and we are projecting that our students will earn over 300 IBCs when they leave the senior class. So it's pretty exciting stuff. So I'm going to turn it over to, and just certifications earned to date. So far, you'll know that most of these IBCs and the testing happens in April and May. So we'll see a big surge in April and May, the culmination of those courses. But currently, we have 23 students who have earned food management certifications, 10 students who have earned social media marketing certifications, and 19 students who have earned an ASE refrigerant recovery and recycling certification through our ASE or automotive program.
Board, I want to, that food manager deal, the success rate of first attempt on that is less than 50%. That is not an easy certification to obtain. That is an 8-hour, very extensive, very in-depth. It gets to the micronet. It is on a different level. So that is a huge accomplishment. There are people that have been in the profession that struggle to pass that test.
Great.
That's
so
impressive.
They're looking for jobs, so just so that you know. That's great. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Griffin, who will tell you a little more about all the great things that are happening with our students on the campus.
So I actually have the easy part of the presentation. I can tell you about all the great things that we have at LaPorte High School, all the different opportunities that the students have, and then where we're headed and the discussions and things we're putting into place to really push those programs to the future. So just highlighting some of the different programs, some of the opportunities and experiences that our kids get to have. Our welding students are constantly making projects for different things. Most recently, they created these picture frames for some Christmas gifts for different people in their lives, and you guys. So I mean, that was a really great project. We had the agriculture fabrication students, the students who were in the ag welding and the ag mech, making these birdhouses for the Rotary auction. The practicum in culinary arts, these students provide local catering for different things throughout the district. We're looking to kind of expand that program. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Our business students operate the school store inside our CTE building. It gives, not only does it provide the service to our students and staff to be able to go in there and buy spirit items, but also teaches them those really valuable skills in small business ownership, stocking, and profit margins and things like that. Our Grow Your Own program, which we are super excited about with our education platform pathway. We send those students to Bayshore and LaPorte Elementary. They go and provide different support and tutoring to students. And then also looking at early education, we have some of those classes that go over to some of the daycares, local daycares, where they get some early education experience working with students in that age group. Our ROTC program, you guys know, they're everywhere. They do a great job. Their honor guard comes and really makes, really narrows the focus and gets everybody into what we're doing and knowing how serious things are and just adds a different flair to our events. Health science practicum students go to local clinics around LaPorte to job shadow, learn new skills, do different things. And then our AV program. I mean, I really can't say enough about our AV program, whether it's LPTV or LP Sportsnet, the skills and the real world application skills that these students are doing and the product that they produce is just truly top notch. And there are not a lot of school districts that even have the equipment that we have, let alone the ability to put the things together that they're able to put together. It really is a great program. So just kind of talking about some of the successes that we've had and kind of things that we're looking to build upon. Like we had 6 of the TAFE students, the Future Educators students, attend the state conference, and 1 student qualify for the national competition this summer in Orlando. Really excited about that. Our DECA students, which is the business program, competed against 4,000 students at the state level. Our FFA students, if you know anything about the FFA program, that goes on all year, and we go to shows all across the state of Texas, and they bring home banners and buckles. That's what they say. So we're really proud of them and all the success that they have. The JRTC, I mean, is really absolutely killing it this year. This is the first year that we've ever had a team qualify for the JLab National Championship. We are now one of 40 teams out of 1,750 teams, not only just in America, but in Germany, Puerto Rico, Japan, and Guam that are still in this competition. This competition started in like November, and it's still going on to this point that now will be in DC. So we're really excited about that. And then the archery team in their first year is being in the open field made to the state competition. So we're excited about that as well. So one of the great things about our CTE students is that it goes to the research about students being connected in things and being passionate about things about their school and what that does to performance. And so having those different opportunities for students is just another way to get them plugged in. And so what these graphs are showing you is that our CTE students compare to students who have not taken at least 2 CTE classes, and then how they compare to our population at large. And you'll notice that our CTE students are outperforming the non-CTE students in every category. And I think that really lends itself to being connected to whatever their passion is, what it is that gets them up in the morning. And so you'll see that the first 2 columns have to do with graduation rate. They're graduating at higher numbers. The next columns have to do with the actual specific, how they're doing proficiency-wise in math, English, science, and social studies. And so it's just a really big testament to all the things they have going on there. So some of the changes, we're constantly reevaluating programs and making sure that we're putting the best product forward for our students and giving them the best opportunities to be successful. And so some of the things that we're doing are based on course request. Our students, the first one is removal of the plant science pathway. That's a program that the course requests, our students much more often are course requesting the animal side as opposed to the plant side. I mean, not really enough to really make that program make sense. That's just not where their passion is. And so we kind of made that decision to move in. We are still going to keep floral design. That is a very popular class. And there's some competition stuff associated with that we're really proud of. We are replacing medical billing and coding with medical assistant. And some of this also has to do with kind of some of the stuff that Ms. Abram talked about before about what the region needs. And so we want to make sure that we're offering the courses that not only are our kids passionate about, but are going to give them those experiences that when they get out, it's something that's transferable, something that this region needs compared to some other regions of Texas. We need to expand the computer science pathway. That's just a necessity just in today's age. I mean, we need to make sure that we're offering those things, and it also goes to what this region needs, what the companies are telling us that they're looking for. So we want to make sure that we have those opportunities available to them. And this is probably one of the more important things. We're going to add 2 courses to the junior high level in the CTE pathway. Again, getting those kids plugged into that, and going back to what Ms. Abrams said, getting to those practicum courses, they now have to be a completer, which means that they have to have at least 3 classes, but 4 credits. And the reason why it's 3 classes as opposed to 4 classes to get 4 credits is because most of those practicum classes are double blocked. And so that eats up schedule, it eats up their ability to be involved in the other things. And at Porte High School, we want kids to be involved in everything. We want them to have as much opportunity as possible. So the earlier we can start them moving in that direction, the easier it's going to be later on in high school. And lastly, we had to streamline and make sure that all of our programs had that practicum class, because that was not always the case. Making sure that we, not only have the practicum class at the end, but then have an IBC that is associated with it. The Project Lead the Way program, that's our engineering program. Again, going back to those things that we're being told by industry that we need to, that they need and they're looking for. So we are partnered up and doing the Project Lead the Way engineering program at the high school level. But this year we actually are starting that program at the junior high and adding some classes, those classes I was talking about before. So in 25-26, we're going to be able to offer 8th graders the ability to earn high school credit through principles of applied engineering. And so that gets them one whole step closer to that CCMR. They'll have that first credit before they even walk through the doors of the high school. So we're very excited about that. Also, we're excited about each of these programs. We're awarded a $10,000 grant for 25-26 from Chevron and Phillips 66. So that's amazing. So one of the great things about our CT room is that we do partner with our community. LaPorte supports their high school. There's no doubt about that. Working with Terry Cook, with different people, getting the partners and working with them, we have those experiences in our practical courses because of those industries that are around here that are opening their doors to our kids to provide those skills. There's a lot of job shadowing that goes on in all these different places and mentoring. We had Bascom come through and do a short presentation on female engineers to try to get more girls interested in that field. And so they came in because they know that it's that symbiotic relationship. They're here in this community, they want to invest in this community, and they know that that's going to pay off for them as well. Okay, goals. So like I said before, we are continuously evaluating all of our programs, making sure that what we're offering is what the community needs, what the region needs, and then it's also going to produce those high wage jobs and giving the kids the necessary skills to get into those programs. Making sure that we are staying up to date on our materials that we're having for the students to utilize, especially in some of those technology classes. That stuff changes so rapidly. And the things that we have, I mean, we've got to make sure that we are in line with what the industry needs, and so making sure that we have that. Again, we talked about the expansion into the lower grades to make sure that our kids are on track and making it to those levels to make sure that they are a completer, they're hitting those practical classes, and they have the ability to pass that IBC. And finally, just the professional growth for our CTE teachers. It's definitely harder on us to find those opportunities for those teachers. I mean, and so we do rely on those industries to help us provide some opportunities for them. We can easily get all the math teachers together and work on what we need to do to make them better math teachers, but I'm not very handy in an automotive shop. So coming up with those opportunities is something that we're always looking for. And so when we talk about the future of CTE, especially at LaPorte ISD, we're really looking at what opportunities can we provide in the higher education level and partnering with San Jacinto College. We're very lucky to have, one of the larger, more prestigious junior colleges right in our backyard that we have a great relationship with. And so expanding those opportunities again getting those credits, making sure it fits in kids' classes, but also giving them the most up-to-date learning that they can in those areas, and then also help by using some of the resources that San Jacinto College has that we don't have or can't get our money to do. So I mean, the new, if you haven't seen the new Process Tech Center at San Jack, it's incredible. I mean, it truly is incredible. So have our kids opening up a new program to where they can experience that is going to be a really amazing thing for us. And lastly, the career exploration, where we've now gone into junior high. The next step is to move it into elementary, and what can we do to help get kids excited about the careers that are going to be, ahead of them, but then also having our kids at the high school level go down to help teach those kids about what are those things that they can look forward to at the high school, what are those pathways they can be thinking about as they move through their educational career. We are going to have a CTE signing day. We have the signing days where we have the sports come in and they sign the letters of intent to go to their college, but we're going to have a signing day where the CTE students can come and sign their contracts for the jobs that they're going to be taking on after they complete their time here. And one other thing, we talked about some of the success of the different programs that we have in CTE, the different teams and the organizations. We are going to be creating some other teams within different organizations. One that we're really excited about is a welding competition team next year, going to different things, doing different welding projects, and then a culinary catering class. Right now, it's just kind of period by period, kind of through what we do, but we're going to have a really specific class that is going to be during the lunch period. And so that way they'll be able to get to different places around the district during different campuses' lunch times in order to cater events or events here, just wherever they're needed. And that is that. Do you guys have any questions for us?
Yeah, I will say, I meant to share this with Dr. Jackson earlier when it happened, but I went to a donor appreciation luncheon at San Jacinto College today in the Lyondale-Basell Petroleum Center at San Jack, and they had students who had either received a scholarship or were a part of the Promise program, which of course Promise provides free college to anybody in the San Jack taxing district. I met a student from LaPorte ISD graduate. They went to the Petroleum Center at San Jack while they were still a senior, looked at it, saw it, and that's what drove them to go in and go to the certification. It was, I don't know if it was a field trip or if y'all have been to the facility or what happened, but they visited sometime while they were a senior in high school, and that's what led them to go into the program. And now, I think it's a 2-year program, but the one he was on, so halfway done.
Yeah.
And how neat. I mean,
beautiful thing.
and I'm very glad that we're going based on, and that's part of San Jack's success, is they're listening to the industry and seeing, they have their pulse on it, and they're seeing what we need, and not in education, in the petroleum field, in any field. And I'm really glad we're following in those footsteps, because that is a big part of their success.
Absolutely.
And students being able to see that early on. We did the same thing. We called up San Jack with our son and we walked it.
Yeah.
He chose to go to the military, but he's getting good classes right now that go towards
that.
being able to go through the program. So, seeing it and seeing firsthand what the units look like, because they can't get in everywhere.
And just to your point, one of the things that's so important about the career exploration is that our kids may know that their parent goes and works in a plant, but they don't actually know what they do or what other jobs are available or what that even looks like.
And they're never going to go into the plant and visit it. Chevron doesn't want you to go in and take a look.
And so any opportunities that we have to give students to do that, it's definitely something that's really high on our priority list.
It's very cool.
I would like to say kudos on a couple of different things in this program, because we have seen a lot evolving through the years since I got on board. This is actually, there's been a lot of great things happening. But specifically, I wanted to say for our welding students, you showed the pictures, right? Seeing them do some great things. They actually made our trophies for the LaPorte Education Foundation golf tournament for us.
I didn't
So
know
we
that.
actually invited them to do that. They did it. We purchased our trophies from them. It was an amazing, everybody was so excited to receive those. So I have to say thank you for that, and also that they did a great job. And then for ROTC, if you don't know this, you can look in this packet for the Maritime Center. They have the simulator. But ROTC, there's a club that many of them are a part of, and they have a flight simulator, guys, and it's so awesome. And they can actually fly like 15 different types of planes in the simulator, and
that was actually a joint program between our welding classes and our ROTC program. So I mean, it was a great cross-curricular program for our students, and it really is a very impressive simulator.
I loved it. I was just super impressed with them having that. And so, you know, it does give them first-hand experience to help make decisions about their future. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to give them resources and tools to provide for themselves and their families.
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much.
All right, we'll move on to item 11. Board will move on to item 11, action on closed session items. We do not have any action, so we'll go to item 12, closing comments of the board or superintendent. Go ahead, Russell.
Was able to attend the top 100. Very nice little ceremony. Pretty quick little ceremony, but it's nice to see those kids up there. I wished I could have been a part of one of those back in my day, but 101. But other than that, good luck on the STAR test coming up. Kick some butt and take names.
There you go.
We're in the home stretch with STAR testing and everything. Honestly, just to our families and to our kiddos, just do the best you can. Progress over perfection. We've got this. We're going to do great. And educators, thank you so much for the time that you've put into these students, getting them ready. It's a lot of pressure, but y'all have really done a great job. And I appreciate you for all of that every single day. So good luck. Make a list of the things you want to do when this is all over and celebrate success.
I echo that sentiment. I wanted to give every teacher a gift card to our local liquor store, but Dr. Jackson said that wasn't appropriate. So no, again, we certainly wish everyone the very, very best, all the students, the teachers, everybody involved, all the parents, the kids are stressed. We wish you all we know you're going to do great. So you have the full support of this board, and we're so proud of you guys. We talked about CTE, so I know we have the FFA has their big auction on Thursday night at the Lomax Arena. I'm looking forward to that. It's a great, if you haven't been to it, I know our board, our administrative staff supports that tremendously, and so it's great food, barbecue, and just help support those kids on Thursday. So we're looking forward to a great event. Also, we have our 69th annual Silver Beach Day Festival. We're excited to have all our schools participate in the parades. Thank you, Dr. Jackson and the team, for letting us use the facilities to stage our parade and to use the parking lots and all the things. We're so honored to have a pageant. The ISD is one of our presenting sponsors for all your involvement, so we really appreciate the support of the schools. We're looking to have a great event. So please send up prayers for obviously the safety of everybody that comes out to it and everybody involved with that festival. Also that we would have good weather. So we had the culinary arts that was mentioned a couple times in that CTE program and the update. And so I had a chance to see them at a home dedication for Habitat for Humanity on Friday. They had their picture in that presentation. So it was really awesome. They came out and brought some snacks to the family and all the people that are out there to help welcome that home. It's awesome that they were out there doing that. So I really appreciate that program. Also, let's say congratulations certainly to our new principals, assistant principals. Looking forward to getting to know them. Excited for the job they're going to do. And I said this in our executive session, but Mr. Wycliffe, I want to say this to you personally, man. It's awesome that I've had parents, staff members, and volunteers that are going in and out DeWalt on a regular basis, and I've heard nothing but just amazingly positive things for that job you did in such a short period of time, man. I love DeWalt, right? But we know that sometimes it's kind of the Wild West, and you brought some structure and some discipline in there. And man, it was immediate impact. So I appreciate the job you did, and I'm glad you're not leaving the district. I'm a little sad that you're not going to be at DeWalt, but I know you can do great things in your job here in the district. So thank you for what you did.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Jeff stole a lot of my notes. Thank you. He really did. I wrote them all down. The FFA students are showing as we speak. I believe pigs, and they call them hogs. Hogs and chickens and turkeys were all being shown tonight. So hopefully that all went well. Hopefully my sister did good. Blake, I've heard great things about everything you've been doing across the district, from principals on campuses to just teachers, how quickly work orders are getting taken care of. So I wanted to give you a kudos on that. We certainly appreciate it. And then I shared my San Jacinto College story a little early, so I'm about done, Dean.
Okay. Awesome. I'll be quick. I just wanted to say how endearing that Jenny Reed performance was tonight. I just thought it was the sweetest, cutest thing ever. Mason and I attended Winter Governance and Student Voice in Galveston together, and got to see some great kid presentations where students were actually doing the continuing education for us. So we got to see some of their perspectives, which is always so valuable for us. Attended a baseball game recently. My thought was to go to part of that and then go to the softball game, but the softball game ended before the baseball game, so I will make it to softball, but I didn't make it there yet. And board, just to you, I will be attending my second TERS meeting on Thursday, and maybe I'll understand more what is going on there, and I can report back to you then.
Thank you.
Once I get a little better handle
We were
on
about
that.
to ask you for an update.
I know. Well, I'll give you an update at the next meeting, and look forward to seeing everybody out at the livestock auction and at the Sylvan Beach Festival, which is always a fun family and community event. The end.
Lots of encouraging things today, and again, just to the teachers, obviously the kids are uneasy about the test. You know, our support and admiration for you is unconditional. It's not ever going to be contingent on one test. That's such a poor representation of really what you do on day in, day out basis. I hope and I pray every single day that you truly understand the profound impact you have on these kids. It's life altering, and it doesn't go unnoticed. And I know it's not always acknowledged, but you've got to have faith and trust that it is there. Because I see it. I see it everywhere I go. Every campus, you can see in the kids, and they need that, and you're providing that. So I hope that you find some peace, and you don't have any anxiety tomorrow or this week as you test. Again, we're going to love you just the same. So I know everybody's putting their best foot out there, and that's all we ask. And we'll see what happens after that. The Chados have their spring show also Friday and Saturday at the theater. This is the first year since COVID that they moved back to the theater, and it has its own challenges. So I'll be gray-haired by Saturday if you see me. But get out there and see that show. Again, let's pray for good weather for Sylvan Beach, and let's look forward to May and getting in that Bulldog Stadium. So excited to see that for sure. So thank you, everybody. Dr. Jackson?
Because it's Star, I'll say something. I've had an opportunity to visit Jenny Reed today, and the kids just always, anytime I'm energized, anytime I go to a campus. But I got a chance to talk to them in their Star pep rally, and they had a kickball game that I was supposed to play in, but I had my best cheap suit on. But anyway, I left them with this message, and I asked Principal Davis if she could just share this in her announcements for a few days, and it doesn't have to be something she does every day. But I shared with them, and I said it 100 times, and so they caught on and started saying it with me. I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I work hard, and I matter. I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I work hard, and I matter. And the kids said it, and even outside on the kickball field, they were saying it to me because it caught on. And I just thought to say that to them, and I'm saying that to all of our principals here, whether you're secondary or elementary. Kids need to have something they can tag on to. And so thank you for what you do for our youngsters. Teachers, thank you that are listening. But we're going to be fine. And I'm saying this in front of all of my board members, my bosses. I've got 7 bosses. You're more than a test score. I mean that from here to heaven. Our kids and our teachers are worth more than just one day and one test score. And I believe the board believes that as well, and they've said it 100 times over. But we all say that. We want our kids to do well. We want our teachers to feel good about it. But our kids are worth more than just one day and one test. And so I'm glad that I work in a district where that is not the end-all be-all. It's a piece of it, but it's not the end-all be-all. So thank you for everybody that helps. But thank you to this board who supports us in doing that work. And thank you, administrative staff, all of you. Thank you.